Very good morning. Jai Shri Krishna Guruji. Thank you for joining the Devi Mahatmyam Parayan. Wishing you all a very happy Navratri. Today is Navami and also a very happy Ayudha Puja to you all. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So today we'll be continuing the third episode, which is meditation on MahaSaraswati and chapter 13. So with that, we will be completing Devi Mahatmyam Parayan, and tomorrow will be the Samapti. Meditation on MahaSaraswati. Wielding in her lotus hands the bell, trident, plowshare, conch, pestle, discus, bow and arrow, her luster is like that of a moon shining in autumn sky. She is born from the body of Gauri and is the sustaining base of the three worlds. That MahaSaraswati I worship here, who destroyed Shumba and other Asuras. So before I start the chapter 13, a quick recap once again to all the demons so that we don't forget them in our life, because it is very easy to forget what we have learned and go back into our material world. So day 1, we started with Madhu and Kaitab. Who is Madhu? Madhu is the sweet talkers, and Kaitab, one who doesn't allow you to listen to the voice of the divine. Second demon, the other demons were the very important demon, especially in the world or in today's day and age, in the age of Kali Yuga, Mahishasur. What does Mahishasur represent? He represents lethargy, tamas, inertia, laziness. So how do you overcome this inertia and laziness? How do you overcome lethargy within us? It is only through extreme self-effort. You have to put arduous effort in overcoming this demon, because the laziness will not allow you to get up and do anything. It doesn't let you to get out of that, it doesn't let you get out of that inertia. It's always keeping you intact, and then what man does is he procrastinates things. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later, I don't feel like doing it. And then we'll end up doing everything in the last minute. The quality of work that we do will also suffer. It's not only we become mediocre, but we become an average performing human beings in this world. Forget about average. Today everybody operates below average. It's a very sad state, because we are not bothered about, that we want to become the best version of ourselves. You know why? Our society, all other environment, the factors, your association, your environment, people you, work with, live with, everybody has only, programmed you to become a mediocre, just an ordinary human being. Nobody has taught you how to become great. Greatness comes with great efforts, with hard work, not hardly working. Today people want everything on the platter. It's not going to give you any success in your life. You have to really put in lot of effort. And only when you put lot of effort, you will be able to then become somebody great. Greatness doesn't come, one day or 2 days. Greatness comes with great efforts. And greatness also comes with first being humble. You have to first learn with humility. Knowledge should not bring you arrogance or pride. And only false knowledge and false, success, which you have just got it out of your karma, will lead you to that false arrogance and false pride. People who are truly success, the great leaders, the mark of a great leader is his humility and humbleness. So learn to become somebody great. Share what you have learned. Make this world a better place. But first, you have to make yourself a better human being. Become the divine being. Understand the greatness that you have. Unravel all your hidden potentials. So then, the Mahishasura. What happens? He turns into a buffalo demon. So I already explained what does buffalo represent. Then from buffalo, he turns into a lion. A demon who becomes a lion. Lion is what? the pride that we have, a false pride. I know I have done this. It's just the ego. I've done this before. I know all of this. We don't want to listen. We don't want to learn. We think we know too much, and that is what the lion demon represent. Then the lion demon then takes again the form of a man with a sword. So if somebody is telling you, stop being so haughty, try to do something. Why are you just saying, I know, I know? Your I know will never let you know anything. See, I can't know. With ego, you can't have knowledge. We're not talking about just the mundane knowledge, what you get from the book. Knowledge about the subject. Even for that to go deeper. Today is Ayudha Puja. Today is also Saraswati Puja. Saraswati represents knowledge. This knowledge, for us to seek in, to open up the real knowledge, we have to first have that humility and humbleness. We have to put a lot of efforts in learning that knowledge. It's not so easy, the way you think it is. You have to really work very hard. Today is MahaSaraswati's day. Everybody seeks, Ma'am, let me get this knowledge. And knowledge also doesn't mean that you can misuse that knowledge. See, people have a problem in this world. Everything that God gives you, it is for the benefit of this world. Not just you alone, but the benefit of the world. The well-being of the world. Wealth is to establish dharma, which means knowledge is also given for doing good in this world. You can't use the same knowledge for your own benefit and doing wrong. Knowledge should never be used for any wrongdoings, the evil doings. So this is something you need to understand. How the same weapon, the same tool can be used for positive purposes as well as for negative purpose. Either it can be used for the good or destroying something. So both has, the weapon has both the purpose, a positive and a negative as well. Likewise, even like what we are learning today is, this body is also a tool. It has divinity in it. It has evil tendencies as well. God and demons both are within us. So who do you want to become is a choice that you have within yourself. Nobody else can give this choice to you. So my Guruji will say, see, a lot of people come, they want to be on the path of spiritual, they want to learn, they just come and try to learn, and beyond a point, the demon rises within them. They get enticed by the worldly ways of life, by Maya, by lust and greed, which we will learn about who these demons are. And when they attack you, you don't know how to use the God-given knowledge. You think God is doing everything wrong for you. And you feel you want to trust the material worldly existence. Please remember, Maya is Adheen to God. It's not the other way down. Maya is Adheen to the Divine Lord. That is why we say it is Yoga Maya. It is the Vishnu Maya we say. It's the Maya of the Divine Lord. He puts everybody in that delusion. It's only with the grace of the Divine Lord alone can you overcome the delusion. Can you see through that truth? And that is only when you become absolutely pure, divine being. That is why you have to first purify your heart, purify your mind, and surrender unto the lotus feet of the Divine Master. Whoever is your teacher. If you don't even have teacher, surrender to the Divine Lord Himself. He will take care of you. But if you don't do that, no knowledge, the real knowledge will never open up. You're still going to be disillusioned in the material world. You are going to be in the delusion, and you will be running after all these rat race, Oh, I have to earn, I have to take care of my family, I'm responsible for my parents, I'm responsible for my wife, husband, children. We are going to be running that rat race. No truth is going to ever shine for you. Why? Because you're not even looking in that direction. You're not even making any effort. So you have to first seek the grace of the Divine Lord. And the grace comes in the form of the Guru for only the chosen ones. When you have your good merits accumulated from all your previous births, with that blessing alone will you be able to meet the Guru. Rather, the Guru finds you. When the Guru finds you, you should use that opportunity to evolve in your life, to redeem yourself and serving His purpose in this world. He gives you knowledge. He makes you a very good being. See, unfortunately, because of the enticement of the material world, people come, they will learn, but only for a period of time, and then they will fall off. Then what is the use of even learning that knowledge? And that knowledge will never stand you if you're going against that path of dharma. Please remember, the knowledge will only open up when you're following the righteous path, the path laid down by the Divine Master Himself, by the Divine Lord. You have to follow the path of dharma, and you must do your swadharma. The body has been given a purpose. the purpose of why you have taken this human birth. And that is something you have to fulfill. And if you don't fulfill, you have to keep coming back again and again and again. Why are you asking for such a troublesome time in your life? Why do you want to, why do you want to be born again and again? It's a painful existence. The human birth is a painful existence. But how can you make it beautiful? When you attain the divinity, when you become supreme, when you attain the divine being, to experience God, you have to take a human birth. Only through the human body can you realize God. So whether it is for demon or gods, God is, I'm not saying capital God. I'm not talking about the supreme divine consciousness. I'm talking about the deities. They will also have to take a human birth for attaining God realization. So it's only through human birth can you attain God realization. Isn't that so powerful? So what do you want to do out of this God-given birth, this human birth? Is it the choice rests with you alone? Nobody can do anything for you. So understand this truth. Make the best use of it. Don't waste your life going after, people, money, trying to fit into the system. The problem which today's youngsters, or even in the past, people thought that is, I have to fit into the system. Yesterday somebody was giving me something very beautiful example. A child of a mother, she met her daughter's friend, and this kid, she's 5 years old or 6 years old, and this kid, because of the peer pressure, the child is saying to her friends, I'm a US born, I'm a US born and I've lived in US, so I've just come back. Why is that being told? Even though the child has never stepped out of this country. And today's children, they listen to what everybody is talking. And because of the peer pressure, the child also wants to say that I am from some place. I am doing some things. So it is extremely important and essential for us to understand that we don't have to get into the peer pressure. Why should you be born from US? What is this US? Everybody's talking about I have to go abroad, I have to study abroad. Why can't you think you can do the best wherever you are? So these peer pressures have to be avoided. Today, when this mother was telling how the children behave, I think what they have not been taught is you don't have to become somebody else. You don't have to be born in some country to become the best version of who you are. You can do it wherever you are. It is only the strength, the confidence, and the parents have to enable. Unfortunately, even the parents feel that, I'm from some third world country. Why do you think you're from third world country? Hasn't God put everybody in the right places? Of course he has, but we human beings think that we have something less in our world. That is our problem. It's not a problem with anybody else. And you don't have to become somebody else. See, having the knowledge about all the subject is very critical. You have to be an all-rounder in today's day and age. You can't say that I don't know some subject, I only know this, I only know that. No, you need to have the key knowledge about all the subjects, and so that you can if somebody is having a conversation or if somebody brings up something with you, you are able to relate to it. That is all you need. But you don't have to get influenced by the world, how society thinks, how people think. You need to be your independent person and you have to make the right choices. So why I'm explaining all this demon and why I'm giving this context is simply because we get very easily succumbed into the material world. How the world has defined the system. I would say, I call it a system. It's a society which is defined. We're all living in a system which has been created by human beings. Nobody's told that is what you have to live. You know why? Because they themselves have never learned the way. What is the real way of life? What is right knowledge? They don't have the right tools. They don't understand right direction. Nobody's on the right path. Unfortunately, they've all gone off the path, and everybody's following whatever they want to. Somebody do puja in some form. They think doing that is what spirituality is all about. God is going to come and bless them. You're not going to get any God there. You can't even find God there. God doesn't even exist. Yesterday we went to one pandal. And over there, we were just seeing the beautiful, the glory, the grandmother, the goddess who's been so beautifully decorated. We're just experiencing the divinity. We were standing there. Didn't even see around, we just stood there and, seeing the beauty of the goddess. Somebody came and behaved, oh, please move in a very rude manner. We have come to a place of worship. You don't even know how to respect people. Today, this is what is missing. What is the need to be rude? We are just standing and watching the divine being. That doesn't mean you have to be rude, right? You can say the same thing. Can you please move aside? We're doing something here. How is that approach? Rather than, can you just move, with a very rude gesture? Who has taught this? Has our scripture ever mentioned? The God is not even happy with you. You think you put all the money and she's going to be satisfied? She doesn't care a damn about people like you. She will give you 2 tight slaps. If she's going to stand in front of you and you are doing something, she will give you 2 tight slaps. Seriously. Is this the way to behave? You're actually disrespecting the goddess. There is a sweet way to say, please step aside. We're doing some work. Can you just stand on the side? There's a way to communicate. We need to be pleasing to people. We have to be nice, good self. Goodness has gone out of the window. People don't know what it means to love. Everybody's self-centered. I, me, minus. Haven't we read this whole aspect of the minus? In fact, Devi is saying in yesterday's chapter also, she was saying, you have to overcome this minus. What is this minus? Why did this whole Devi Mahatmyam was explained to the king and the Vaishya? Because both of them were attached. One was my kingdom. I want the kingdom. I want to become the king, who will not be defeated. He had a desire, right? What is it called? It is desire and attachment. And the Vaishya was bound by his family. Even though your own relations, for money, throw you out. What does it tell you? Nobody is really yours. They only care about what you have. This is the reality of life. The truth is that. But the one who's always with you is this divine being. Please remember, don't trust any human being, because human beings are fallible in nature. Why? Their mind comes and all these demons take over their mind. They all get Indra's throne at some point in time. So what happens when the demon, you become completely evil. When the demon takes over your mind, you become completely evil. And the entire head to toe, you're full of evil. Deceit, lies, hatred, bitterness, negativity, jealousy, avarice. There is no place for God. Have you seen? You're filled the entire hosts of demons within you. Where is going to be the Devi, or where is going to be the Divine Lord? No. The voice is going to be unheard. That is why Vishnu had to fight Madhu and Kaitab for 5,000 years. Don't you understand your own nature? 5,000 years. God has to fight for you to say, please now look up, don't listen to these people outside. I am here, I am with you. But that one little voice, we don't want to hear. What kind of human beings are we? That is why Devi Mahatmyam has to be repeated every single year. How beautiful the God has designed this world. We'll have to continuously repeat the same lesson over and over and over and over again. Every scripture teaches the same thing. Be your good self. Imagine, people are saying they are doing puja. But when they say, Atiti Daivo Bhava, when guest is God, when people are visiting your temple, you're treating them like some roadside person. You talk so rudely. Is this what your culture, has this what God taught you? You think any God is even going to come there? No God. You can make all the idols. Idols are made of clay. But to manifest that goddess in that, you need the power of faith and conviction and goodness and love. Without that, no God can be manifesting over there. Not with your evil characters, evil doings, wrongdoings. The only reason why today people manifest, make these idols and worship, because they can't see divinity within them. When you can't see the divinity within you, you're only going to put the faith in some idol. Why? Because you're able to see a form. That is all it is. But are you really truthful even there? People like to deck up and come, dress. Yeah, which is nice. You have to dress nice, feel good about yourself and come there. But for what? Not have fun. Come there for really being one with the divinity. That doesn't exist. Today, celebrations are only for enjoyments. What enjoyments? It's to gratify your sensual pleasures. That is why the celebrations are made, not really for bhakti or devotion. There is no devotion in anybody. People like to, dress nicely. What the women do over there? Oh, let's see who's wearing what sari. I have to dress I have to dress the best. I have to wear the most beautiful sari. I will show off. Last time she wore this sari. This is how the mind thinks. Petty to the core. And then you all want to come, oh, let's have fun. Oh, we are not going to cook. Next 3-4 days, oh, food will be provided. There's lot of counters. Let's enjoy. Enjoyment is the word that comes about. So everything is connected to what? Your mind, body, senses, ego, the 3 gunas, Sattva doesn't exist. Rajas and tamas, predominant is tamas. And then what? And you're disillusioned. You're completely in the state of delusion. So where is the question of God over there? No God exists. And somebody points you out, then saying, why are you doing like this? Please be your good self. Then they get infuriated and they fight back. Indignantly, they'll fight back. So that represents the man with the sword demon. Then once again, the same demon becomes elephant. What does elephant demonstrate? Elephant represents false ego, pride and arrogance. And we take pride in ourselves. I'll show who I am. I am such a great person. All that kind of nonsensical thing. Your mind will throw a dime a dozen at you. The mind, doesn't even shut up. You have to say in your mind, shut up and be lost in the divine. Just don't talk. Too many thoughts, nonsensical thoughts. People live in their mind. You have to see their face. It's so obvious. They say face is the index of your mind. Your face will demonstrate what is happening in your mind. It'll display everything. So nobody has that love and goodness for another person. We are not good within ourselves at all. We are all the time, talking about something nonsensical. So, and also we feel jealous about somebody else's progress. Why? See, everybody is born with their own destiny. They will get what is due to them will come to them. So why should we be jealous about anybody's progress? You should, the way how you should think is live and let live. You also be good, let the other person become good. Why this jealousy comes? First of all, because we are never contented with our life. We are not satisfied. We are seeing somebody's life. Oh, that person has $1 billion. See, I am nobody. My friends have startups. I have not done anything in life. I am a useless person. We always deride ourselves. But you know what? God gives you opportunity to serve your purpose. He puts you on the path, but we don't want what we have. We always want what somebody else has. It's the same thing, right? If you have understood the way how a woman works, she might have the most beautiful sari, but if somebody else is wearing some other sari, she'll think, oh, that is much better than what I'm wearing. This is how a woman thinks. I should buy better than that, or I want that. You will always want what somebody else have. Why? That is because of your desires. That is because you think you have something less. Always find truth. It's called feeling satisfied, satiated and contented with everything that you have. And once you practice that, you're never going to feel, bad about somebody getting something. You'll on the contrary feel, they're going further down in gutters. That is what you will actually think. See, the more you get into gutters. There's a method in spirituality. When you get more, when you become very rich, please remember, success gets to your head and then you become too egoistic in life. And when you become, the power comes to your head. So that is why the teacher, the great guru, will always ensure that you're not having your ego, pride or arrogance. It's subdued and it has to be destroyed. So he constantly makes mincemeat of it in his own methods. He uses to remove your ego, arrogance, thinking that I know too much, all that. And he makes you the most humble being, for which he bends you backward. He literally bends you backward. You have to go through it, that process of learning, to overcome all and destroy the ego, pride, arrogance, everything that you have, all the tendency, vrittis. You have to overcome all of them. And he makes you the beautiful, pure aparanji, the pure gold. But before becoming pure, you're put in the fire to remove the impurities. So that is what the real master does. And we have to do, even if you don't have a guru, that's perfectly fine, but you have to practice it yourself. You have to make an effort. And please remember, the universe works to make that happen when you truly seek it. So it is in your hands to put effort and become beautiful. So experience this through, feeling of being contented in your life. Don't ask more. More has nothing got to do in life at all. Okay? And then once again, we have this ego and arrogance and pride, and then we get into this aspect of inertia and lethargy. Become the buffalo once again. And then what is the next demon? Chanda and Munda. Oh my God. Who is this Chanda and Munda? Lust and greed. See, what is this entire universe driven by? It is driven by lust and greed. We're constantly lusting for things. We're constantly lusting for, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to own this, I want to have this. We're lusting for everything. And lust also represents, I want to marry this man, I want to marry that woman. They think there is happiness in that marriage, there is happiness in wanting to marry somebody. It's a lusting, you're lusting for an object of pleasure. It's an object of pleasure. So what joy do you get by that? See, marriage is an institution. It was created so that the procreation happens in this world. It's a beautiful institution that exists. But the problem is, the moment you get into marriage, the lust grows and the greed comes in, simply because you want more, right? Now your wife has her demands, your children will have their demands. You will be, you are struggling to fulfill everybody else's desires. Your desire doesn't even exist. You will struggle to achieve all of that. And then what happens? Finally, you'll die a death, you being the most dissatisfied being on planet Earth, feeling that I've not done anything in my life. I've not been able to achieve anything at all in my life. That is the life you will end up becoming. And then what? You're sanctioning yourself births and rebirths, unfortunately. So I'm not going to go in detail because I've explained enough of lust and greed. It's just a quick recap. Then what happens? The next demon comes is Dhumra Lochana. Who is it? Clouded or blurred vision. Your vision is clouded. You get enticed with all the glamour, the glitz of this material world. Maya is enticing. Look at me, look at me. You should own this. If somebody is wearing a beautiful jewelry, oh, look at her, she's wearing this new piece. I will also buy. I also want to buy. Your desire keeps growing. And what you don't see is, you don't see things in the light of truth. We only see the glitz and glamour of this world. Our vision is clouded. We can't see beyond our nose. And that is this demon, and that is very dangerous. God can be standing right in front of you, but we know what you can see? An ordinary human being or some vague thing. You can't see divinity in front of you because you don't have the grace. To see the divine being, you need to seek the grace of the God. God can come in any form. But do you have the eyes to recognize Him? We think our way of looking at God is, we either find Him, we don't even find Him. We think we see God in the temple because there is a statue there. That statue has no value. There is no God in that statue. You should know that. God can take any form and come. He can come in the form of a beggar tomorrow to your house. Are you going to treat the beggar nicely? No. A man will say, please don't even allow him. The rich people, they don't even allow the beggar inside, right? How can somebody go to a rich man's house? But he is God. Will you be able to recognize? No, you can't. That grace has to be there. To recognize the divine beings, you need the grace. They'll come in disguise. They can come in any form. So that is why it is said, always a practice which has been taught to us, see God in every human being. Even if it is your worst enemy, a worst person whom you don't like, see God in him also. Because God can take any form and come to you. So let your vision be clear. So ask for that grace. Today, all our vision has been clouded by Maya, delusion. Next, Rakta Bija. Very interesting demon. I really liked it. Of all the demons, there's a very interesting demon because he rules our life constantly. You know why? Because when you kill Rakta Bija, from the blood of when the blood drops from his body, every drop of blood produces one new demon of his valor and strength. What happens then? Imagine the might it comes in. Have you observed your mind? When you are angry, and when you're dwelling on some subject that has caused that anger to you, watch yourself. When you start dwelling on that object, you know what? Hosts of thoughts come about. That is called the hosts of asuras. A series of thoughts which is actually pushing you to become more bitter, angrier by the minute. That is what it does, Rakta Bija. You should recognize it doesn't do any good to you. Why? The evil thoughts keep coming up and we get so angry. Head to toe, we become bitter. Our being is filled with hatred. There is no goodness. And we're always working against the nature of this universe. Have you seen the entire Mother Nature? She's very beautiful. She's loving. She's benevolent. She's giving so much to us. But in turn, what are we doing? We're destroying the environment. We are cutting trees. We have already used up all the natural resources possible. In the last, there's a statistics which says that the earth has been Literally, I mean, all the natural resources have been destroyed in the last 200 years alone, which has not happened in the last many thousands of years. So man has become so greedy. And because of an evil thing, we're constantly wanting more and more and more. How much more is enough is the question we all have to ask. And please remember, once this evil, the demon takes over you, you don't have the sense of, shame on transgressing the path. You become more prone to doing it. You become a pro in it. And then who is the master of it? Who takes pride and strength, has the strength in doing evil doings. And there comes Shumba and Nishumba. What do they represent? They are the ultimate. They are the super boss of all these demons. Who are they? Shumba represents the strength in the evil doings. And then you show your prowess in doing all the wrongdoings. You're not even ashamed of the transgression that you have done. And then who does Nishumba represent? Nishumba represents a false pride in the evil doings. And you will continue on that path. And please remember, where will you end up? In the deepest of the hell. There is no redemption after that. You will be born as some worm in some excreta, or I don't know what else, or you'll be born as some ghosts and ghouls, all the evil. That's what you will become. And that is what you're sanctioning yourself. When you go on the path of divine, you will be born in a good womb, which will enable your spiritual progress for you and the people you are born to. But we don't want that. We want to become evil. We want to become the Shumba and Nushumba. This 99.99% of this world is filled with evil today. And everybody has this Shumba and Nishumba in them. But it is for you alone to overcome that demon and become divine. This is what is Devi Mahatmyam all about. Fight the demon within yourself, conquer the evil and become the Devi. The greatness of Devi. Understand your own greatness. To understand and realize your greatness is the Mahatmyam, the greatness of this Devi. You are that Devi. You are that Durga. You are that Krishna. You are that Krishna Kali. There is nothing outside of you. So with that, now let us complete the last chapter in episode 3, which is the 13th chapter. The sage said, O king, this sublime Devi Mahatmyam has been narrated to you. Of such glory is the goddess by whom this world is upheld and sustained. Likewise, knowledge is produced by the Yoga Maya of Lord Vishnu. What is produced? By the Yoga Maya of Lord Vishnu, knowledge. By her, you, this Vaishya, and others of discriminating intellect are deluded. What did I say? It's the Lord's Maya alone keeps you in the who keeps you in the delusional state. But it is for you to seek the grace to overcome this delusion. By her, you, this Vaishya, and others of discriminating intellect, which means what? You have the ability to discriminate. Like I said, God-given potential is all there within us, but we never tap into it. Others have been deluded before, and many others will be deluded in future. So this delusion is going to be continuous, but it is for you to overcome this delusion. It is for you to seek her. Seek the grace to overcome this delusion. O great king, take refuge in her, the supreme goddess. She indeed, when worshipped, confers enjoyment, heaven and liberation. Markandeya said, hearing his words, O great sage, Surata, the lord of men, despondent at the loss of his kingdom and his excessive sense of mindness, bowed down to that sage of great parts and of severe penances, and started immediately for performing tapas. The Vaishya too went with him. They repaired to the sandy banks of a river for getting the vision of the mother. He and Vaishya performed the tapas using for japa the great Devi Sutta. See, without any penance, you can't attain God. What did they both go into? They wanted to seek her grace. They wanted to get out of all that thing that they have gotten into. So they went and did tapas. God is not easily available. You're just going to temple once in a blue moon and telling, oh God, I want to attain you, I want liberation. Nothing is going to come to you. Please remember that. Man has very interesting way. They don't want to put effort. In Sai Baba's Poti, there is 2 chapters on Brahmanyana. where somebody's keeping the money in his pocket, having all the money, and wants Brahmanyana in 5 minutes. Wants it very easy, where he doesn't even have the courtesy to give charity to Sai Baba. And Sai Baba has given a fantastic lesson. You must go read the 2 chapters on Brahmanyana. They both made on the bank an image of the Devi out of earth and worshipped her in the image with flowers, incense, fire ritual and offerings of water. Without partaking food, exercising self-control. What is important? When you have to become good, when you have to walk the path which nobody is walking. See, none of your friends will ever do this. Please remember, they are below average. I would even give them, if there's any ranking like below minus, they will go below minus. That is what today's generation have become. They don't know how to respect. They don't know how to value things. They think living whichever way, however, is what they all believe, life is all about. And worst part is they neither follow their own culture nor they'll follow somebody's culture 100%. They'll adapt everything and make a mincemeat of it, neither here nor there. And there's confused people. And what will they become? Below average. They can't even be an ordinary. They become worse than an ordinary. That is what they are actually going towards to. So effort is very important. Restraining self-control. So it is in your hands to put that effort to transform. First is to learn. Learning is very important. Why? What is missing today is the right knowledge. So gaining that knowledge, then comes application of knowledge, and then going on your path. That is what is very important for you to become somebody great in your own space. I am not comparing you to anybody. There is no comparison. You have to first become the best version of yourself. You can't be who you are, below average. In 3 years' time, the upholder and sustainer of the worlds, Chandika, became pleased and appeared before them and spoke. In 3 years means they were very strong in their focus and they sat 100% day and night meditating, doing japa. And what did they do japa on? Devi Suktam. They did all of this, and once the Devi was pleased, she gave them the darshan. Are you even capable of sitting for 2 minutes for a puja? No. You know what? Man is lost. Today I've seen youngsters, no, you should just give them 1 minute. Immediately they'll get on their phone. They're lost. They don't have focus. They can't be there. Immediately, the first thing they'll take out of their phone and then they'll keep seeing something. And it's distracted beyond. I need to throw that instrument out. Sometimes I feel it. You know why? Because it's a huge distraction. It has made people lose their attention span, lose the focus, lose the concentration. Like my Guruji will say, actually, he will not agree to me, but just saying for the fun of it. What he says is this, a tool is given for a good purpose. A tool is not bad at all. But how you use it is a choice that you have in your hands. Like I said, the same tool can be used for building your knowledge, right? Why is it you have to go into the reels and see all sorts of crap? It's very addictive. It's very easy for people to become tamasic in nature and not do anything and become dunce in their, from a knowledge perspective. They're not training their intellect to become brighter, learn more. They're not training their mind at all. On the contrary, they're losing that attention span, they're losing their focus, they're losing everything. I'm not joking. This is what has become today. You observe people around you. They will go somewhere constantly on their phone. They're not even listening, hearing. How are you going to gain knowledge? Practically, when you go out, you have to experience, right? You have to be there. I used to have a very interesting problem way back. I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's just a habit. So I used to take a lot of photos. So my Guruji taught, you are only lost in taking photos. Are you even enjoying that particular whatever that I'm wherever we travel and whatever I'm experiencing, I'm not 100% in there. You know why? I'm focusing my camera and taking pictures. I'm making memories. But why do you need to make memories? You need to live in the moment. There's a beautiful movie. I'm trying to recollect the name of the movie. I can't remember, but if I Google, it's a very beautiful movie it's a life. I'm sorry, I'm really unable to recollect the name of the movie, but I can give the, I just can share the episode which really captured my heart. And that's when I overcame this habit of taking so many photos and, not living and enjoying that moment right there. There was this great photographer in that movie who's sitting for many days in some mountain to capture a photo of a leopard. And he's waiting there for days, I think also months, I think. He just sits there and waits and waits and waits for this leopard to come out. Finally, that moment comes, and that moment, it's right there and the leopard is there. You know what he does? He actually doesn't, he has set up his camera and everything, but he actually does not take the photo. Instead, he literally captures that sight of this beautiful the leopard in his heart. That is what the truth is. Or he's a great photographer. He has spent his energy, time, effort, everything sitting over there and waiting for this leopard to come in. But the moment that leopard appeared, he did not take the photo. He said some things are, you just have to capture, you have to take the beauty in your eyes and capture it in your heart. That is all it's required. And since that was my learning, that was my eureka moment, or a learning point in my life, I stopped going and literally living in my camera. Yeah, you take photos, that's it. For that, you do take photos, but you don't get lost only in the photo. You have to live that moment, admire the place, admire the beauty, learn the reality, see through it, for which your attention is extremely critical. Your effort, your focus is very critical. Not getting into the phone. Every 2 minutes you get a break, you're lost in your phone. People will, go to the store and they're trying, they're wearing their clothes. They're trying a garment. You know what they'll do? They'll stand in front of the mirror, take the phone and be lost in the phone. This is what has happened to people today. You can observe yourself like this. Go to any store or go around and see how people do. They'll order food. We went to a restaurant and we saw a couple with a kid, mother, father and child. They have put a phone in front of the child and everybody's busy eating and the child is looking into the phone. This is what we are building the future generation to become. Buddha taught a very powerful lesson. When he eats, when he used to eat the food, he chewed it for a long time. That means, you're also meditating, your oneness at that moment in time, chewing. You're fully eating, you're giving that 100% attention. Your focus is in that food. Only then will that sattva, the essence will reach, the sacrifice will reach the gods. Not by you being so lost. Today, why people are suffering with so many different sickness is because their mind is not focused in anything. They're mentally and physically sick people. We need to send them to Punjab, sorry, that's a joke. So coming back, as they were worshipping like this, exercising self-control, in 3 years, the upholder and sustainer of the worlds, Chandika, became pleased, appeared before them and spoke. The goddess said, O king, whatever is prayed for by you, and O Vaishya, delight of your family, whatever by you too, get those all from me. I am pleased. I shall give to you, Markandeya said. Then the king chose the kingdom. See, again they're asking for something. That's okay. But he needs his kingdom. Then the king chose the kingdom, which will not get out of his hands even in a future life, while in this life his own kingdom captured back by strength by killing the armies of his enemies. But then the wise Vaishya. So whenever God comes and gives you a boon, don't ask for frivolous things. He knows what he has to give you. Always ask for knowledge. Ask for liberation. That is the highest thing that you can ask. Or ask for serving his purpose in this world. That is all you can ask. And ask, the highest thing you can ask is to always be devoted unto the lotus feet of the divine Lord. Nothing more than that. But then the wise Vaishya, despondent in the mind, chose the knowledge, which gives release from the attachment for I-ness and minus. Absolutely. This is what you have to ask for. I-ness and minus. Because the whole episode, all Devi Mahatmyam, this entire demons began because of I-ness and minus. We always are stuck with I want this, I want that, I want this is mine, that is yours, I, me, myself. Overcome this. There is no need to be any of this. God, surrender to him. He knows what is best for you. You will anyways get it. Don't even have a doubt, iota of doubt. It will come at the God's appointed timing, not when you think you want it. So be very clear about that. The goddess said, O king, in a few days, you're going to get back your kingdom. After killing the enemies, it will not slip from you anymore. After death, again you will get birth from the sun god and become on earth the famous Manu the Savarani. O the best amongst Vaishyas, what you desired out of me, that boon I shall confer. The knowledge will bring you fulfillment. Markandeya said. Thus, after giving both of them boons as they desired, the goddess immediately vanished, lauded by them with devotion. Thus, Surata, the best of the Kshatriyas, having got the boon from the goddess, will become the Manu, the Savarni, by taking birth from the sun god. So this ends the Devi Mahatmyam Parayan. Clean Om. Here ends the 13th of Devi Mahatmyam in Markandeya Purana during the period of Savarni, the Manu. Tomorrow we will be doing the Samapti of the Devi Mahatmyam Parayan. Once again, thank you very much for joining the Devi Mahatmyam Parayan. Today is Mahanavami and also Ayudha Puja. I hope you all perform the Ayudha Puja and make your tools very powerful and win in this world. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha, Om Shri Gurudev Datta, Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Digambara Shripad Vallabha Digambara, Om Shri Krishna Gurunatha Natha, Shri Guruve Namaha, Om Devi Durgaya Namaha, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.